This is the EG Barcelona, a bit of an older bike. I'm not sure how many are really for sale new anymore, but if you see this at a garage sale, I wanted to do kind of a quick overview. It's basically a full suspension sort of, affordable electric bike, and just under $1,000 price point. Weighed it's about 54 pounds, and the battery pack up there is about 6.4 pounds. So, it's not terrible in terms of weight, especially considering that you've got the sort of the added hardware here for that rear swing arm. And again, the price point, it's sort of an entry-level type of a setup, but it is electric. Got a 200 watt rear hub motor right there. Kind of see it. Blends in nicely, it's sort of the black and silver, sort of a white frame here that I believe only comes in one size. It's just got these sort of a generic V-brake, kind of a rim brake on the back, and then up front you've got a 160 millimeter disc. So kind of an interesting combination. I like that on the front they've got a quick release, so you can take that wheel off and give it some easy service or easier transport. You'll notice that this triangle is kind of taken up by this rear suspension element. So if you're trying to hang it off the back of your car, it might be a little bit tight. There's obviously no water bottle cages or anything, but I like that they did sort of a mid-step design here. It's going to be easier to stand over, and it's not a huge bike by any means. You do have some cushioning going on. These are 26 by 2.1 inch tires. They've got the knobby tread. You've got a real basic suspension fork, Top Gun, and there's some sort of adjust here. It's not clear to me exactly what this is. It might be just kind of a rebound, sort of tightening the spring and reducing or increasing the amount of suspension you get. The rear bumper is just real basic. Same kind of thing. Not a whole lot of adjustment to be made, and not a ton of travel, but you do feel it when you're kind of going along. You can see it doing a little bit of travel. I was riding it a minute ago, so you can see where the dust has been scraped away a little bit. Again, it's kind of more like for looks, and I think that's the real story about this bike. I wouldn't recommend taking it off-road because the battery attachment, it's just plastic right here, and if you're going off bumps or even going off curbs real hard, this can fail and break, and then you're out of luck. You're gonna have to get some sort of a bag or something, and the whole bike just becomes sort of it's going to be inconvenient and definitely not as aesthetically pleasing as it is. This is a 24 volt, 10 amp hour. They call it kind of a frog style battery pack. You need to turn the key all the way and then one extra click to get it off. You kind of pull it off like that. You can charge it on or off the bike, which is nice. It's convenient. You don't have to leave it outside at a rack or anything. Of course, that's going to lighten it up by that 6.4 pounds. Got some lights here, just a LED light in the rear and another one right up here on the front, and they just kind of run on their own batteries, which means that they can run out of juice. They aren't tied into the system or anything, and that helps to keep the price lower, but it's basic stuff. Kind of a fun little bell. We've got these big oversized shifters. Again, that I tend to see these on just like more entry-level bikes or kind of cruiser type of a setup. Definitely not like a true mountain bike, right? I like that it has a kickstand. It makes it a lot easier to manage when you're just using this to get around town, which is really what it's for. I'm not a huge fan of the fact that you have to leave the keys in while riding. They don't come out. They're gonna jingle around like this a little bit, and you could just have just the key in there and no keychain, but then it's like, oh, do you forget it? And a little bit of a hassle. Battery does have a little LED power indicator, which is nice, but there's only 3 dots, and even the main display panel, it's just sort of like an LED sort of power meter here, voltmeter kind of thing, so you're really not getting your speed, your distance. The levels of pedal assist, there are just 2 of them, so there's like easy or sport, I guess, or speed or something like that. And then if you're in the middle, you've got your twist throttle. The cool thing about the twist throttle is that you can turn it off. So you can be in like zero mode over here, turn the twist throttle off, and then it's a bicycle with nothing going on. I don't know why you'd have it on in that case. You're just sort of letting the battery power your LED meter. On other electric bikes, you've got an LCD that it's like a bike display panel. It's telling you your speed, your odometer, your trip distance. That stuff's nice, and in that case it'd be really cool to have a throttle that could turn on and off. In this case, it's sort of like why? The throttle is this huge, like, you know, it's the whole grip, right? Which I'm not a huge fan of. I kind of like to have it separated a little bit. You've got these nice holes here in the sort of a semi-ergonomic setup, and you could put some streamers in here if you wanted to like really get some cool styles going on. Brake levers do look like they have motor inhibitor, which is nice because again, this is a cadence sensing pedal assist right here, and I think it only has like 5 magnets. So a lot of the newer bikes have like 12. They're a lot more responsive to start and to stop. Again, very, very basic. Kind of nice to see a bike like this just to appreciate how far electric bikes have really come. And, you know, you get on this thing, it's not super satisfying, you know, but at the same time, it's very purpose-built. I mean, look at the wires go right through the down tube right here, and they're wrapped nicely, and the motor looks good, and the cadence sensor, it's nice. Like it's even got the sort of little bash guard here for the rear derailleur, which is Shimano Acera. That's decent stuff, you know. It's not terrible, it's just weak, and by today's standards, not super satisfying. To take care of the battery, you'd want to kind of keep it in a cool, dry location. You'd want to be topping it off every few months if you weren't using it. And if you're looking at one of these at a garage sale or something, that's a big question mark. Like, how much is a battery replacement going to cost? Probably upwards of a few $100 at least, and at some point they may not make those anymore. So you're kind of buying into an antiquated system a little bit. But EG has been around for a long time. They do a good job, and I really like some of their other bikes. They're all sort of like budget price, but that's not bad. You know, it's going to help you go a little bit further, even though it's a weaker system, because it's going to be more efficient. So that's one way of looking at it. I'll go ahead and just hop on here, use the twist throttle, and show you the motor. Listen, because it's not real loud, and you're not going to get a whole lot of speed or power here. You know, we're probably going like 10 miles per hour. Can't really tell. It definitely takes a minute to kind of ramp up and get this thing going when you're only using the twist throttle. And then when you activate the brake levers, like, I just find that it's a little sloppy here because the whole lever or the whole grip moves, you know, because it's all big twist throttle. I feel a little scrunched on this thing. But, you know, gets the job done. Definitely helps you like fight the wind or climb a little bit. I'm gonna go up to the speed mode here and show you the pedal assist. Big delay for the motor cutting out. You'll notice I stopped pedaling and it's still going for a little while. But I see that sometimes even on, you know, the new 12 magnet systems. There's a delay when you're using a cadence sensor like this. So kind of keep that in mind. And it's nice that I can override pedal assist with the throttle. So let's say I'm in a high gear, you know, I've been pedaling real fast at like 20 miles per hour, and then I have to come to a stoplight or something and stop completely. Well, now when I start to pedal again, it's gonna be hard. You know, I'm in a high gear, like real slow, and it's gonna take a minute for the cadence sensor to turn on. So in that case, you know, boom, hit that twist throttle and get a very gentle push with that 200 watt motor. So yeah, I think that's a good overview. Just kind of fun to test out these older bikes and get to see it in action like this. It's really some decent stuff here, you know, even though it's not perfect. So yeah, that is the EG Barcelona. It's our full suspension bike. Here's the full suspension in action. Whoa, it's kind of, you know, it's satisfying. It's gonna help you a little bit, but the full write-up on this with all the specs and pictures and stuff, I'll see you back at ElectricBikeReview.com, including other EG electric bikes, maybe some newer ones for you.